Hey there guys, EctoMaster here. We are back in Heroes of the Storm for Heroes of Tuesday. I was gonna say Heroes of the Tuesday, don't ask why. It's the last, Hero Spotlight for a while that we're gonna do it like this because Zeratul was the only one I needed to do and he was free to play this weekend. So we're gonna take a look at him. I mean, why not? So here he is, Zeratul. He is a melee assassin, difficulty hard. We're going to take a look at his skins, then we're going to look at his abilities, his talents, and we're going to look at a hero build from Heroes Nexus that, we'll take a look at his build there while we're doing it. So anyways, let's take a look at the skins that he's got. About 5 of them. Look at that. So here's his base skin, which you can see in all his glory. And he has the alternates, of course. And then he has a master skin, which just builds on his base skin. I really wish they would, line these up a bit more because he has a red one here and the orange one there, but he doesn't have a green one. And that to me is just kind of disappointing. Then there's High Templar Zeratul. This is if he was still a regular Protoss and not a Dark Protoss or whatever they're called. I don't remember. It's been a while since I played, okay? Then there's Ronin Zeratul. It's if he was, a Ronin. So it's pretty cool looking. And then Zerg Hunter Zeratul. It's like he took Zerg bones and skins as his armor. That's kind of cool looking. And that's really cool looking. So there you have it, guys. Let's head back over to the hero play so we can actually see Zeratul. We'll take a look at his abilities. So his Q, W, and E. He has Q is Cleave. It's a 40 mana cost with a 6-second cooldown. Deals 75 damage or X damage to nearby enemies. Singularity Spike. It's a 60 mana cost with a 12-second cooldown. Flings a Singularity Spike that sticks to the first enemy hit. Deals X damage after 1 second, and slows the enemy by 40% for 3 seconds. And then Blink. It's a 75 mana cost with a 10-second cooldown. Teleport to the target location. Using this ability does not break cloak. And then that is his trait, Permanent Cloak. Gains stealth when out of combat for 3 seconds, taking damage, attacking, using abilities, or channeling reveals you. So much like, oh god, what's her name? The ghost. Nova. I was going to call her Kerrigan because she does have the Kerrigan skin. Much like Nova, this is the same kind of thing. And then he has 2 heroics, of course. He has Shadow Assault. I was just going to say Shadow Assault. My brain is just not with me today. See? I can't even say, I was going to go, it's just not with it. I'm just not with it today. And it's not with me. And it came out, it's just not with it with me. I don't know. Shadow Assault. It's a 100 mana cost with a 100-second cooldown. Your basic attacks cause you to charge at enemies and have 20% increased attack speed, lasts for 6 seconds. And then Void Prison. It's a 100 mana cost with a 100-second cooldown. Slows time in an area to a near standstill, making allies and enemies invulnerable and unable to act for 5 seconds. You are not affected. There you have that. Let's take a look at his talents. We're going to be looking at this build that's called Zeratul, Double Bomb Assassin from Kurz. We've seen Kurz before. So let's take a look at it. So right off the bat, Block, Seasoned Marksman, and Regeneration Master. We see those all over the place. So we're just going to look at these 2. Greater Cleave increases the radius of cleave by 33%. And Rapid Displacement reduces the cooldown of Blink by 1.5 seconds. For this build, they recommend to go with Greater Cleave. At level 4, you have Focus Attack, we see with some others. Vampiric Strike, we see with others. And Gathering Power, we see with others. We're going to pause on this one, though, to take a look at it. This is the one they recommend with the build. Hero Takedowns increase ability power by 1% to a maximum of 15%. Half of this bonus ability power is lost on death. So it's probably about 7 or 8 that you're left with. The other 2, we're going to talk about those again as well. These are more Zeratul specific, so if you wanted to go away from gathering power. You also have Sustained Anomaly. The Singularity Spike explodes for area damage and slows regardless if it hits a target or not. And then a Vorpal Blade. Cooldown of 15 seconds. Activate to teleport to the last non-structure target you attacked within 3 seconds. And that is an active ability, so you have to activate that ability. Level 7, we have Follow Through, which is one we see with others, as is First Aid and Searing Strikes. For this build, they recommend to go with First Aid. It's a 60-second cooldown. Activate to heal 35% of your max health over 6 seconds. Now, if you wanted to do something more Zeratul specific, you also have Void Slash. Cleave deals 30% increased damage if used while Cloak. And Shadow Spike. No longer decloak when using Singularity Spike. Range increased by 20%. At level 10, they recommend to go with Void Prison. We already talked about it, so we're not going to stop on that. Giant Killer, Burning Rage, and Spell Shield we see with others. We're going to talk about Wormhole and Assassin's Blade. So Wormhole, for 3 seconds you can activate Blink again to return to the point where it was cast from. So you can blink to the last non-structure you attacked and blink back. Yeah, confusing. Assassin's Blade, gain 25% basic attack damage for 5 seconds when breaking permanent cloak. 10% increased movement speed while stealth from permanent cloak. For this build, they recommend to go with Wormhole. Level 16, we have a Rending Cleave. Cleave deals an additional 50% damage over 5 seconds, and Double Bombs. After you cast Singularity Spike, you can cast a second one for free within 3 seconds for 50% normal damage. And as we said, this is Double Bomb Assassin, so Major Tool is going to go with Double Bombs. At level 20, they recommend to go with Rewind if we haven't seen this before. Basically, it's a 60-second cooldown. Activate to reset the cooldowns of your basic abilities. You also have, if you wanted to stick with Void Prison, you do have Protective Prison. Allies are also no longer affected by Void Prison. If you really went out far left and decided to go with Shadow Assault, you also have Nerazim Fury. Shadow Assault grants 30% lifesteal, and the duration is increased by 50%. So there you have it, guys. That is the last regular hero spotlight that I'm going to do here. It's going to be a bit until the next hero comes out, which I think is the StarCraft 2 Medic. That's one that they showed at Gamescom. So until then, or whoever the next hero is, we're going to take a break from the stereotypical hero spotlight. And instead, we're going to stick with the new one that I haven't thought of a name yet. So we're going to figure that out later. But that'll be next week. Until then, I am EctoMaster, and I will see you guys in the next round. Right.